Welcome back, friends. It is Friday morning. I'm out on the scene trying to catch a couple garage sales. They're doing a local balloon fiesta this morning, so it's kind of cool being a native New Mexican, seeing the hot air balloons floating around. It's always a tradition up in this part of the state, and so I'll share a little of that with you when I jump out the car. I got a new pair of Crocs, $5, and then this pair of Dansko, kind of Mary Jane style women's shoes, $1. So didn't even haggle any deals, was happy to pay it. Morning, how are you, ma'am?
You're doing good.
Good to hear.
First one here.
Got it all to myself, huh?
You got it.
Well, not too much at that last one, but a couple sweet old ladies. But I did have a cool encounter with a hot air balloon that flew right overhead. Super cool to see that. So gonna boogie down the road to the next stop. It is Friday. Fridays have been dying off. Yard sales just haven't been as good on those days because school has started. Fall is here. I'm accepting of that, but it is what it is. This is a great score. It's a Tremontina Dutch oven. It's in pretty darn good shape. These guys generally sell online for 40 to 60 bucks. I may just keep it for myself because it's beautiful and it's soup season with the fall weather coming up. But yeah, I'll think about it. And then got this little cast iron hand. I offered her $1. She went for it. Good with that.
Are you a barbecuer? Oh yeah, that's a fiesta.
I'll take it for a couple bucks. I'm glad I doubled back and went back and looked at what they had at this garage sale because I was able to find this Fiesta platter for $2. That's a great find. So I went ahead to secure my load and buckled up this Tremontina Dutch oven. It's super beautiful. So I took a little brief pause for about 30 minutes to visit a good friend at my local barber shop. Don't get to see him a whole lot, but I am back on the path now, and I'm headed to a garage sale that I actually stopped by this morning, but I did not realize that the garage sale wasn't going to start until 10 o'clock. My dad beat me over here. He gave me a call and said I want to get over and check it out, so there was a lot of stuff, so I'm pulling up right now. Well, unfortunately, didn't find anything at that last stop, and the gentleman did have several Carhartt jackets, but he had them priced to the max. And when that's the case, and when I see everything else is priced to the max, generally I don't even try to make offers, or at least today I didn't because I just wasn't in that mood. But yeah, it is what it is. Gonna go ahead and just keep burning around, trying to find boxes, signs, anything that tells me there may be a turn worthy of hanging. How you kids this morning? Oh, just trying to stay out of trouble.
Oh, good.
Costs too much money, you know.
Yeah, I hear you there.
Well, no look at this stop, and there was two garage sales right next door to each other, but both of these individuals regularly have garage sales, so I was looking at a lot of the same stuff. I did fortunately, however, run into a good family friend. He's a guy who has garage sales often, and I've shot some content at his garage sales in the past several months. He gave me a good lead on a garage sale in kind of a wealthier neighborhood, so I'm gonna go ahead and batten down the hatches and try to boogie over that way.
Just until he'll get
What you guys want on the on shoes?
let me ask, how much for these? Let's do, I'll take 8 for them.
To do $6?
7?
I'll meet you at 7.
Okay.
And we'll pray that spray and wash helps them.
Yeah.
I think
Those
so.
are expensive
Definitely.
shoes though,
They
brand
are.
new.
You know what? The OxyClean whitening is actually
I make my living off of OxyClean spray and the powder.
So you know, huh?
Yeah, I haven't paid up for these On running shoes, but I will do that for brands that sell, and this is one of them. I will put some spray detergent on them and cross my fingers and hope that these get a little wider than they are now. Well, I'm pleasantly surprised to be getting into the garage sale volume I have been getting into this morning, and while I haven't bought a whole lot of stuff, I'm finding stops consistently, and that's keeping me from having to drive a whole lot. And that has not been the case really the last month, with the exception of last Friday. Last Friday was okay, but I'm gonna jump out. I think I'm sitting right outside a little old granny's house, and she's looking at me kind of strange because she's probably not used to seeing people talk into their camera like I am. Okay.
We're selling stuff for cheap.
Just trying to get rid of it, it sounds like, huh?
Things $1 or $2 each.
There wasn't much to be found at that one, but I did pick up this sweet Colorado state flag magnet for just some pocket change, and I'm good with that. I got a huge magnet collection. So finally made it down to the neighborhood that my good family friend had recommended, and this is a big garage sale, so I'm gonna hustle out of this car seat and look around. That's a super cool old three-wheeler. Very old school. Reminds me of being a kid. Super big garage sale, but didn't find anything cool other than the vintage Honda three-wheeler. A little bit outside of my price range, and I would wreck that and snap my neck within a day of riding it around my neighborhood. So, that's all right. Just gonna keep pushing. Had another strikeout, and that's like 3 in a row, and that just happens in the later morning. It's nearly the lunch hour, and so all things being said, I'm gonna start making my way home. I will stop at any garage sale I see along the way, but I think it's just time to shut it down and hold on to my coin for tomorrow. Just got back to my casa. It was a pretty slow day out there, even though I was getting into garage sales for it being a Friday in the late part of September. I just didn't buy a whole lot. There was a lot out there. I just couldn't find anything worth the grab or worth the investment, but I'm gonna go ahead and connect this video to tomorrow's findings. But before I cut away, I'm gonna go ahead and share with you everything I did come up with today. It's only the 5 items. I'll quickly share with you what they're about, what I paid for them, and what I might be able to sell them for. So first off the bat is this pair of Crocs Leanne wedges, and I only gave $5 for these bad boys. They're new with tags, and so hard to say what I might be able to get for these. I will probably price them in the low 40s, maybe 42, 44 bucks, and if I can sell them for in the mid 30s, I will be super happy with that sale. And then right next to it, I picked up this pair of Dansko women's wedges. These were only $1. They got a few scuffs on the blue material, but that's okay because Dansko is one of my best selling women's shoes, and I will probably hope to get maybe in the 30s for these guys here. I typically do free shipping on a lot of beat up shoes or shoes that are not in great condition, and so I'll probably do free shipping on these guys, but for only $1, I'm happy with that investment. And then quite possibly one of my favorite shoe brands to flip is On. I believe these are Cloud Swift 3s. They are pretty dirty, but there's a lot of tread life on them, and they're really not in bad shape. They're just really dingy and dirty. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit them with some detergent spray, let them soak in some detergent soaked water overnight most likely, and then hopefully when I pull them out to let them air dry, they'll be white as could be. And if they are white as could be, I can probably sell them for somewhere around, who knows, maybe $50 to $70. That might be reaching on the upper end because it's hard to say if I'll get these really clean. On the low end, I'm sure I can get 35 to 45 bucks for them, even if they are a little bit beat up. Don't sleep on On. On is a great brand. They're a little obscure. They can be a little bit funky looking, but I love On shoes. They always sell well for me, even beat up. And then this is a Fiesta enamel wear platter. It was only $2. It does have some scuffs in the enamel. I probably should be able to sell this for in the 30s, maybe even the low 40s. It might take a while to sell because it is a little scuffed up, and this is an older style platter or dish. but I love Fiesta. Anything Fiesta is money. And what Fiesta Ware is really known for is their porcelain and ceramic goods, their plates, their dishes, their mugs. But for $2, I could not pass on it. And then the last find of the day, I'm still on the fence if I'll keep this. This is a Tremontina Dutch oven. It's in great shape. It was only $4. It's not really a color spectrum that would go with my house, but I might keep it until I can come across like a Le Creuset and a orange ombre. That would probably match my kitchen a lot better. And that's sometimes what I'll do is I'll find nice stuff for my house, and when I find something even nicer to replace it, I'll upgrade, and then I'll sell the other item that I was once using. That's the beauty of reselling. So all things said, I bought these 5 items here. 5 items here. I believe I spent $19, which breaks it down to like $3.80 spent per item. I'm good with that. I will go ahead and connect this video to tomorrow's finds, like I said, but if you've made it this far, please reach out there and hit that like button. What's going on, friends? Zach here, full-time reseller, and it is Saturday, one of my favorite days of the week. Getting ready to go out and hit the yard sale scene, the garage sales, the rummage sales, estate sales, doesn't matter. Come along, and again, I'll share with you everything I find. I'll tell you why I buy the brand. Maybe I'll tell you a little bit about the materials, and hopefully I'll give you an idea what I might be able to sell it for. So let's do it. First stop of the day, I got this cool old vintage satin snap. It does have an oil fill company on the front of it, but it's in immaculate condition. Paid $4. I picked this up from an old patient of mine's wife. Unfortunately, a gentleman I had once worked with had passed away, and so there was some sentimental value with some of these items because they were his when he worked in the oil field. But I got this Carhartt FR hoodie, and I did pay $6 for it, but that's all right. It's 2XL. It's got a little bit of a stain, but it is FR, so I'm good with that. And I'm gonna go ahead and boogie down the road now. And then I was at a garage sale over by the college, and one just flew right over the top of a house. So that was a cool experience. Yeah. Well, no luck there. Lots of kids' clothes, lots of women's clothes, not a whole lot of hard goods. That's all right. Just gonna boogie down the road. You buying all the good stuff, young man?
Trying to.
Well. I had a lot of stuff at that one, but it was a lot of hunting gear, old used camping stuff, not much clothes, not a whole lot of good collectibles, and yeah, that's okay. All right, some sweet Thorogood boots, picked them up for $12.
$19.20.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks.
Yeah, maybe I'll stop back by in a little bit when you're got more out. I was stoked to pick up a pair of Thorogood boots. They're in great condition. They do look like a much older style. That doesn't matter. Thorogood is money, and when I can find them in great condition, I get even more excited. And so I probably could have offered her $10. She had $15 on the tag. All right, so quick little look at these guys here. Like I said, older style, but really not in terrible condition. Still have the original insoles. They are an 8W. I wish they were like a 9, a 9.5, or plus that, but that's just the way it is. You don't get to pick the sizes. You got to be on point, and if you're on point, oftentimes you'll come across good deals. So I'm really stopping because I got to dump off a bunch of packages here at my local post office. So something I don't probably talk about often enough is shipping and fulfilling my orders. And so personally, for my own eBay store, my own account, I do operate on 3 days handling time, but I typically try to turn around and ship the next day. What that does is it keeps you ahead, and I like to play from ahead. I suggest that. I've always been that way with any job I've had. It's just my personality type. But the other effect it has is it gets you good feedback, and people are so used to ordering things off Amazon and getting it shipped out that day or the next day and getting it a few days later that when you operate on 3 days handling time, sometimes people are not even aware of that when they buy the item, and then they're hounding you, sending messages wondering when you're going to ship. And so I've just really customized my business to kind of operate that way. It works for me, and I like to only have to do 5 to 10 packages a day rather than waiting 2 or 3 days and then having to have the daunting task of getting like 15 to 20 orders shipped out. That's way too much work. So that's kind of how I operate. I suggest you do the same. I operate on the 3 days handling time again because I am a sole proprietor in this small business. It's just me, and it does give me a little bit of breathing room. but I'm just careful about when I promise I can ship, especially when people reach out to me, and especially if it's on the weekend, because there's no way I can ship items on Sunday. So just know that these are some of the issues or some things that might help you, some things to think about when you're trying to craft up your business so that you hopefully have more success.
Looking for anything in particular?
Just a good deal.
We have furniture inside. $2 and or less.
Okay, it's a bargain, huh?
We have furniture inside if you think.
Okay.
Yes. Whatever.
$2,
There's some
huh?
old tools in the shed over here.
Okay.
So just look around if you see anything.
Now, does the TV work? Do you know?
Last time, yeah, it did work.
Did work. For $2, you know, I don't think I can go wrong. $2, I couldn't pass up on this old vintage Sony Trinitron. This thing weighs as much as an anvil, but for 200 pennies, I figured it was worth the gamble. They said it worked. I didn't worry about testing it. And then they also sold me a short-handled, square-headed shovel for $2. That's just for personal use, so I won't share it with y'all. But yeah, old vintage Sony, look out for it. It's always money, and Sony generally typically works pretty good even when it's old as hell. So there's that. Back to a garage sale I was at yesterday. The gentleman had some really nice stuff. He had a handful of Carhartt jackets, a lot of nice stuff. He just was priced out of the park, but I slow played the deal, didn't buy anything from him. Coming back today just to kind of look around. He may not have any of that stuff. It's worth looking. Today's probably not going to be the best day for garage selling because we got some monsoon rain, but it doesn't hurt to try and it doesn't hurt to make an offer. We came to this garage sale. They were still priced up a little bit high on their jackets, but I don't blame them. They had really nice stuff in nice condition, and it turns out the people were extremely cool. They ended up cracking me a deal on these Dooney and Burke wallets. They did want 15 a piece for them. I did offer 10 a piece, which is still a little higher than I like to pay, but because the condition was so good and because of that brand right there, they were willing to offer them at $12.50 a piece, or at least $5 off for the two. I was good with that because I know that these will turn, and they'll turn fast, and I could probably get somewhere between $45 to $60. I did just sell this ostrich leather style just a couple weeks ago in a white for I think 40 something bucks if I remember right. So I don't mind paying up for good stuff. This is a perfect example of something that is that. How much you guys want on your Volcom jacket? Well, a little disappointed. I came across a nice waterproof Volcom canvas jacket, and I asked what the price was. The woman had to go back inside and check with the husband. He said $20 because it was new, and I simply just pointed out there was a bunch of stains on it, and she did ask if I wanted a counter, and I just declined. So yeah, it's all good. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good, how you doing?
Well, I'm good. I'm about ready to make my burrito order though.
More people than I figured we would this morning. It's been
Yeah, not the nicest, but it ain't came down yet on us, right? I was sad though the balloons didn't get to lift off.
A lady came by, she said they had to cancel the balloons this morning.
So chalking up a bunch of strikeouts this morning, and pleased with the volume of garage sales I'm coming into for it being late September, for it being cloudy, overcast with a big chance of rain this afternoon. But I'm just not finding much quality at the garage sales, and that was the case yesterday. And sometimes out of nowhere it'll just warm up, it'll heat up, and it'll get good, and sometimes it just is kind of a struggle. So knowing these things, accepting that reselling is a roller coaster is imperative. You got to be okay with the ups and downs. You got to know that it'll get better, and it could get bad, and it could get good in a heartbeat, and that is what I live by. Pulled up to one right down the street, and it looks like they have a pair of Carhartt overalls hanging up, and it looks like they got the tags on. They probably want more than I'm willing to pay for something that's new, but let's go check it out.
$10 is totally fine.
Did you do 7?
That works.
Okay, I'm good with that. Those are actually pretty good shape too for white.
Yeah, because I bought it for him, and
All right, scored these Air Max Vapors for $7. She wanted 10. I countered to 7. She was good with that. And this gal had sold me a Patagonia backpack earlier in the summer for a really good deal. So grateful to have connections.
morning.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Doing well, how are you?
Doing good. What you guys want on the bag?
50 cents.
How about I give you a buck for it? I don't think I got 50 cents. Yeah, I'll give you a buck for it. Yeah, I'm willing to pay up for that. It'll make some girl in some expensive town happy somewhere down. I got the Lululemon bag. Not sure what it's for, but they wanted 50 cents and I gave them $1 because they always sell me stuff for a good deal. What you want on your jerseys?
Babe, what'd you say?
You can do like $5 for both.
Should you do 4 for both?
Yeah.
Okay. How about on your pants, dude?
Probably $5 on those.
$5 on those? Okay. How about on your jacket, brother?
50 for that one.
Yeah, that's a sweet jacket, dude.
It's all padded and that's like kangaroo skin on it.
Yeah, dude, that's a dope jacket. Scored these motocross jerseys, they're Answer. And then, sorry about that, this one's a Yamaha Racing. Both in great condition, $2 a piece. Good score. I pick up a couple cheap items that are good sellers for me, and motocross apparel is that. The guy had a sweet Alpine Stars sport bike racing leather jacket. Hard to say what it was worth. It was a little beat up and scuffed, and he wanted 50 bucks. I thought about offering him 30, 35 for it. Came back to the car and tried to look it up and just couldn't match it. And it's really tough to price those jackets because some of them only sell for like 70 to 90 bucks, but some of them can sell upwards of a couple $100. And normally I probably would have picked that up for the right price and just sat on it, but sales have been a little bit slower the last month, so I'm operating on a little bit more of a limited budget with what I have to spend, and I suggest you do the same when time is slow with your sales.
$10. Oh, how much will you give me?
I know they're Birkenstocks, but they're pretty worn, ma'am.
They are, but you go on Etsy, see how much they sell.
Oh, I know
like
all
this.
about that.
So I would put this on Etsy and I'll eBay after the garage sale if I don't sell them.
Don't blame you at all.
Yep.
How about on your windbreaker?
$1.
I'll give you $1 for that.
I thought so. It's like free.
I like that price better. No, $1's good. That's a great brand.
Yeah, they're amazing. We have another
brand
one.
here. Is this the same brand? Columbia.
It's a bigger size. You will give me the 5 and you can have the iron thing with it.
How about the Birks instead?
Take it.
Okay.
Go away.
I'll go away if you're forcing me to take it. Slow played this deal like a game of Texas Hold'em. The woman was hilarious. She wanted $10 for these beat up old Birks. I walked away from it, and I think maybe I caught some of this on the content I was just filming, but I can't remember. But she ended up giving them to me for like package deal. I gave her $5, and that included this Columbia men's rain jacket, which does have a stain. But the better find was this Rob rain jacket. Super good brand. Like Rob, I love selling Gorp or outdoor adventure apparel. So for $5, I got the Birks and I got these 2 raincoats, and I'm super happy with that deal. Morning, sir. How are you? Good. How are you? Doing good. Well, I just hit a string of 5 different garage sales on one street, and unfortunately only bought from one of the sales. And yeah, that's just how it goes sometimes. A little bit disappointed, especially because this is an affluent, up-class neighborhood, and yeah, that's just how it goes sometimes. So that's okay. I'm happy. I've got a bunch of stuff in the back of my truck. I'd still like to put on another 5 to 10 items if I can help it. It is 10:12 right now, so it's getting a little bit later in the morning. So I really want to try to double down and get to as many as I can before I hit the lunch hour and things really cool off. Okay, so I hit a little bit of a flat spot. It's been about 30 minutes or more since I bought anything. I've been to like 4 garage sales, and I probably won't even include the footage because none of them were worth a darn. Nothing interesting to look at, nothing to haggle or barter for. That's just the way it is. And it is almost 11 o'clock. It's getting a little bit more cloudy around here, so not sure how much longer I'm gonna stay out. I did think about making the big loop, but the big loop is 14 miles to the next neighboring town, and then 7 miles to my old hometown, and another 4 miles back to my house. And this summer, it just hasn't felt like it's been really worth it most days to make that big loop into the neighboring smaller cities. But gonna go ahead and blaze around my normal trolling loop and just see if I can't find any other garage sales here in the big city, and we'll make that decision as we go. Morning. How much you want for your jacket?
That one he's asking it for $20.
$20?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you, ma'am. I'll think about it. I appreciate it.
Out of that, probably the most expensive thing here.
Well, there's a pattern forming, and that is that I have not found anything in almost an hour now. Definitely made some stops, nothing really worth filming, so the universe is telling me it's time to start heading home. So just got back to my casa, and all in all, today was just an okay day outsourcing. It wasn't bad, it wasn't good. I'd probably say that it was right in the middle, and today was a lot like yesterday. Came into a lot of garage sales, just didn't find a whole lot to invest in, and that's okay. You want to make your money count, and you want to buy good stuff so that it doesn't sit around and take up a lot of real estate for a long time. I would definitely say the best buy of the day was probably the 2 Dooney and Burke wallets, even though I did have to pay up for them. That or the Thorogood boots, and I imagine I could probably sell the boots and make all my money back today, as I spent about $75. Or I should be able to sell both those wallets and probably come up with around that same amount of money. And so everything else here will be profit, and I'm good with that. So as always, please hit like, make a comment, or subscribe. We'll catch you next time.